It's a pleasure to be here, seeing some colleagues actually. Working for a small, new company has some very unique challenges, and some of the earlier speakers talked about, their processes and their strategies, and we have all those things, but I want to just share with you on one specific challenge around operating costs and one specific solution that we implemented, and that solution is called Elevating Operating Performance, which is actually a product that ZIF promotes. So I'm here to tell you we've been benchmarking with ZIF for almost a decade now, so we are believers in the data. The data was telling us that for the most part we were Q2. On some properties, once in a while, we would hit Q1 on our benchmarking. But the reality was our costs were still climbing and outpacing our production increases. So we thought we had good discipline. We thought we were doing well, but the data told us otherwise. So we had to do something. So management told us that we needed to actually target Q1 to be best in class for our operating costs. And so they challenged us to be leaders, not just average. And to do that, we had to believe in the benchmarking. And that is, Paul and his staff can attest to that. A lot of people are skeptic about benchmarking. And Juan Carlos just showed us a great example of comparing different assets. Everybody says, well, my assets are different than somebody else's. But if you properly benchmark, then you should be able to compare what we call apples to apples, equal types of assets. And you have to believe the data. So the previous graph showed that we had been doing as much as we could, but our costs were increasing. And I told you earlier, we had a small staff. So we realized we could only do so much. We didn't know what else to do. So, and because we had been working with ZIF for so long, we asked them to help us out and to share some of the best practices that they had seen in the industry. So the management demanded a step change. So this is where elevating the operating performance comes in. Chris Phillips, who's in the room here, Chris was introduced yesterday. So Chris is a senior associate with ZIF, and he came to help us. And this was back in 2008. And he had already developed a methodology to dive into a property and to analyze a property and find all the areas where you can improve. So it's a very structured methodology. So we engaged ZIF, and we set upon this journey to elevate our operating performance. And the methodology sounds simple enough, but actually doing it is a whole other thing, and that's where again we recruited ZIF, because you need somebody to keep pushing the process. And I think I've met some people in the room here. There are groups here that have operating excellence departments within their organization. We're a very small organization, so we don't have a lot of people who could help us with this. Everybody, it's a standard, you hear this a lot, I'm too busy. So lots of people were busy doing their thing, so we needed the independence of ZIF to keep pushing along to make this happen. The bubble shows the actual impact. If I trended our costs the way they were going, you can see that we saved about $23 million in 2009, and we saved about $40 million in 2010. So that's significant. And Valhalla, for us, that field was a pilot in the northern part of the province. We did, since then, 5 other properties. So we've done 6 properties, which, it's a cross-section. We've done some gas properties. We've done some oil properties. In quick conclusion, it works. Engage your staff. Follow a process. Trust your data. If the benchmarking says that you're inefficient compared to peers or more expensive, trust the data. and start to adopt a continuous improvement process. And if you do those things, you will reap the rewards.